Why is it that on Friday night we bless our sons? Yesimcha Elohim Ephraim and Menashe. May God make you as Ephraim and Menashe. When we bless our daughters, we say the words Yesimcha Elohim Kesar Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May you be like our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. But when it comes to our boys, we use the names of Ephraim and Menashe. Most people never heard of Ephraim and Menashe. So what was it about them, and what was it about this particular blessing that made it so important that we use them as the paradigms of blessing over Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? In this week's parasha, Parashat Vayechi, Jacob calls Joseph, and he says, I want to bless your two sons, Ephraim and Menashe and Ephraim. Menashe your eldest, and Ephraim your youngest. I want to elevate them to the level of tribe. And then something strange happens. The Torah describes in great detail how Menashe, the older one, is pushed to the right side of Jacob, so that Jacob can place his right hand on Ephraim. He pushes on Menashe. He pushes Ephraim, so he's facing the left hand. So when Jacob can put out the blessing, he can place his hands over the two boys. The Torah then says like this: V'shikel Yaakov et yadav. Jacob swaps the hands, placing the right hand on the hand of Ephraim and the left hand on Menashe. What is going on in this particular event? The Torah describes that Jacob says to Joseph, I know that Menashe will be great, but his brother Ephraim will be even greater, and thus he deserves the blessing from the dominant hand, the right hand, over Menashe. The question then becomes, why wasn't, what's going on over here? Joseph is very upset that Jacob is choosing one son over the other. And much has been written about this particular question. But I want to focus on something quite fascinating. Jacob is about to bless the two boys. He could have said to Joseph, I want Ephraim on my right side, Menashe on my left side, so I can give them the blessings. And then just done it like this. By swapping the hands, Jacob gives the blessing to the ones that deserve the blessing, but at the same time does it in a way that does not embarrass Menashe. There are times when we're going to have to choose. Pick one over the other. Shikel et yadav literally means to swap hands. But the word shikel, shin, kaf, lamed, comes to the word seichel, brain, kop. There are times when we're going to have to choose one over the other. We're going to have to invest a bit more time in one child over the other. We're going to see something about one child over the other. But how do we do it in such a way that doesn't create animosity? Joseph himself experienced this when Jacob gives him the coats of many colors. It causes such discord within the family that the family actually splinters and splits. Jacob has learned the lesson as well. And when it comes to our children, we cannot raise them exactly the same. No two children are the same. There's only going to be one Ephraim. There's only going to be one Menashe. And one will have character traits and strengths that the other does not possess. And we may have to pick the one over the other. But when we do it, it has to be b'seichel. We have to think about what we are doing, how we do it in a way that elevates the one without embarrassing and destroying the confidence of the other. By placing Menashe on his right side and Ephraim on his left side, and then by swapping their hands, Menashe didn't feel he's being rejected or pushed away. He's still on the right side of Jacob. This is a powerful lesson as a parent and as an educator, to learn how to give the message over to the child in a way that elevates and does not hurt. Later on, when Jacob blesses the children in the parasha, he gives distinct blessings to each of the children. Jacob understands that each of his children are different. None of them are the same. If we look at the back of my shul, and you look at the stained glass windows, you'll see that they are in the shape, in the stars of David. They are the shapes of each of the tribes. And in the Star of David is a picture of each tribe. Each one is different, because this wants to teach me the lesson that I celebrate the uniqueness and differences of each and every one of the tribes, each and every one of my children. There will be those who have elevated roles, and I can do them. I always be b'seichel. Do it in a way that you never hurt the other child. And this is why, when a father blesses his child on a Friday night, he places the hand on the child and says, Yesimcha Elohim Ephraim and Menashe. May you be like Ephraim and Menashe. The blessing is working for two ways. One, it is a message to the child, but secondly, it's a message to the parent, that when we are parenting, look at the story of Ephraim and Menashe and train your child and teach your child b'seichel. Shabbat Shalom.